today's gonna be another ramble video. It's been, a long year in this February. And I typically save ramble and rant videos for when I'm needing the time the most to rest and to just chat with my friends. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm going to try and not edit this video too much. I quite like when ramble videos have a lot of space in between them, or I typically cut my videos to have a lot of jump cuts for the sake of comedic timing. But I want it to be kind of a bit of a difference that you can see that that's there. So yeah, Ollie's joining us today. I just yesterday got back from a trip to Hawaii. I went back in November, and I went this past week to see some of my friends and to do some work out there. And it was good to see my friends, but it was a very heavy work-filled trip. And I haven't slept too well. I got a good night's sleep last night. But just needing a bit more time to kind of get back into the swing of things, especially back into work here, and like life and things. So that's why we're gonna rant. We're gonna just chit chat, give you a bit of a life update. I came home yesterday and it was significantly warmer than it had been when I left. Like by like 70 degrees it was warmer. It was very crazy bipolar weather. And I thought that the smell in the house was a mixture of not cleaning for a week, litter box maybe not being done for a couple days, I don't know, hot, the heater was on but it wasn't running because it was too hot for it. So I thought, I'm just gonna turn on the ACs that haven't been on since last year. It kind of smelled a little better this morning, though. I woke up and my landlord had let me know that my neighbor has the same problem right now, and we have a flood under the house. And that under the house is flooding, and that there was a water leak and a pipe broke somewhere because the ice. Or something like that. So it's stagnant water is what I was smelling. I was smelling the swamp that is my house. And I am the ogre and operator here, so I woke up and went, I can't do anything about that. I gotta go. So, but the cats are safe and fine. They have fresh water from little bottles, and I have pea water from a bucket because I got a bucket full of water before they turned it off. So, it's a wonderful, warm, welcome home present, that's for sure. But it's a blessing that it happened when I got back, I'll say that. But if it had happened while I was gone, I think that would have been much more difficult to deal with. But yeah. Oh, hello, you want to come up? He's that's kind of why. Excuse me. Come here. Come here. Ollie, come up. Ollie, come up. Come here. That's kind of why the cats are out today. They're a little bit more rambunctious. And I thought that putting them away for a video would be kind of cruel since they've been alone all week. So yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a life update. Would you like to say hi? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He just wants love. But sometimes he tries to knock down my camera, and that's gonna be a problem. But so I think the the last time that I did a ramble video was technically for the cats. But last one I think I did before that was when I had a concussion. July of last year was really bad. That was very bad for me. But since then, I have turned 25. So all that brain damage just locked in place. Now all of my mistakes are my own, which is awful. I can't blame anything on youth anymore. All of it is me fucking up. I traveled to Hawaii, mentioned that. I went for the first time last year for a little retreat, and I went back because I made a bunch of friends and got some work out there, so that was really fun. And now I think it gets to be a bit more of a consistent thing. I don't really want to live there even for work. I don't really like planes very much. I didn't really like them too much before, and I think I really liked them when I was a kid, but every year as I get older I like them less and less, and then this year particularly I've especially not been thrilled about the idea of getting on a plane. So I also love to drive. I love driving to my family, getting to see my family, so I think if I was on an island I would really not like that. But I get to go out there every couple months for work now, which is very exciting for me. And yeah, other than that, I've just been working a lot. I have found that I quite dislike myself when I'm not productive. If I don't have something to do or make myself doing something, especially for money, I think that I am worthless, which I don't know where that came from. I don't know why I do that. Military family. JK, it's because I have a military family. So I think that's been a big, like, hey, what's going on there kind of moment for me. Especially realizing that most things are connected in my life. I think everybody's life, they're like that. So one of my bigger goals right now is to save a bit more money. And the reason I find that I'm not is because I go out a little too much. Not necessarily not out drinking or bar hopping or anything like that, but like I go and I get takeout, which is why I am not loving the way my body feels right now. I go out and I get coffee in the morning and I sit at a coffee shop to work. And I find that if I just didn't do that as often, I would probably save the money I'm trying to save. And then it's like, okay, well, it's also, I'm not staying home because I don't love being home, and it's a whole thing. But at the beginning of the year I really didn't love being home, and I've cleaned the space a little bit more and made it a pattern for myself a little better, and I actually quite like being home now. But just trying to break old habits for the most part. My hobbies are going well. I think since the last video I've started skateboarding, which is very fun for me. I'm very bad at it, but it's been very healing. I quite like cruising. I'd like to start learning tricks, but I'm a little scared. So I'm slowly learning some. My goal this year is to ollie. I'd like to be able to ollie and walk the dog, which are two very basic and normal tricks. So I think I'd like to do those this year. And I just like cruising around, but to see how much I've grown in it and how much more comfortable I am now. In the last, I think I started in like maybe September or October of last year. And so just to see how much I've grown in such a short period of time is really cool. And really, not even inspiring, but like eye-opening of like, oh, like I can make changes and do these things and enjoy. enjoy my body more, which is another big goal of mine. That's kind of my main hobby that I'm able to fit into my life right now. I do have 3 jobs. I think the last time we talked I had 3, and I've exchanged one of them out now. At one point in the middle there I had 4, which was not idyllic, but it was not ideal, but I quite like my jobs now. But I think most people have this problem too, but when I'm off from one of my jobs or 2 of them for a while, I'm like kind of dreading going back, and then I get back in the swing of things and I'm like, oh, I could work for hours and hours and days. But the second I have a day or 2 off, I'm like, I have to go back. But eons better than when I was in corporate America, because that shit sucked. I wanted to die every day. Now I'm fine. Now I'm just like, I don't wanna. Okay, whatever. Which is such a blessing and a relief, truly. See, things I've learned as being 25. I didn't know what innie and outie vaginas were. Didn't know that there was a difference. Now I know. Super cool. I did not know about sole proprietorship taxes, and now I do. So, I can't wait for me to be done with those. And I have found that I I think this is probably a very normal thing among people, but if I stop moving, I'll die, and so it's like I've got to work. I feel like this is a very American thing where it's like, what am I thinking? Like, everything has to be capitalized on, and so if I'm home, I've got to be productive, and if I'm not home, it's got to be doing something I can capitalize off of. And so I'm trying to find those hobbies that I can just enjoy for myself, and things that I can do that I just enjoy doing. I got this little app that has helped me. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I've never been sponsored. Don't know that that's in the cards right now. But I got this little app called Finch, and it helps me keep all my little tasks. And I get to see my birdie, who's very cute and adorable, and I named him Yoki. But my friend put me on it, and now we're little friends on it. And so that's been very helpful. I didn't realize that I might actually really struggle not remembering things. I was diagnosed a couple years ago with OCD, and that diagnosis has always made sense to me, especially in the superstitions and the compulsions and the things that I have. But my best friend likes to say that ADHD and OCD are sisters, and I just never quite realized maybe how many ADHD tendencies I have, and that I don't remember things, and that things are very out of sight, out of mind, and I have a lot of time blindness, and things that I don't necessarily feel like I need to have a diagnosis to like feel better about. I think just even being able to recognize the like symptoms of it has been able to help me find ways to just live and cope with it. Because I don't want to be medicated. I was medicated all of my like late teens and early 20s, and I don't like my mind when I'm like that, and I don't like my body when I'm like that. And if I can do anything, it would be to try and love my body and my mind in any state that I'm in any like stage in my life that I'm in. And I think meds are awesome. I think if you can't, like, I think if meds work for you, use them. That's great. They just didn't really work for me very well. So I'd like to find alternative ways to function that aren't just like the universal way that work for a lot of my friends, but not necessarily for me. So I know that a lot of my viewers are not religious, and that's totally fine. I think I've only mentioned it a couple times, but I am religious, which is why the superstition, which is crazy, such a mind fuck sometimes to be like, why I'm not even Catholic, and there's this guilt. What is this? What's happening? Where am I? Why am I deconstructing a religion I'm not in? The weirdest mind fuck in the world. But just trying to, like, you know, be as kind as I can to people and just like listen to what the Lord's telling me. Try and not fuck up my life, not be stupid, because I feel like I have that unique ability to just truly take my life and ruin it in the most awful, fucked up ways. So, trying not to do that, trying to be better. I am listening to a lot of music. I found that I have been very dissociated the last couple of weeks, which I think is why videos are becoming harder and harder for me to film. I think mainly I'm freaking out about that because I just flew on a plane and had a couple injuries and like normal things that people would be like, I need a break. And I'm like, God, I'm so dissociated, what's wrong? And it's like, no, you're probably just you're like coping and like getting back to normal, but whatever. But especially having been so consistent this year and just trying really hard, my goal is just to really like keep being consistent with all the things I'm doing. And I find that maybe I dissociate really hard, so making little ramble videos is nice for me because I don't really have to think about what I'm doing. I think most of y'all know this, but I improv all of my videos. I don't script. I think maybe I've scripted one and it went very poorly, but I don't script any of my videos. And so that can be very mentally taxing sometimes to like have to be getting into character for a couple hours and like have the voice and have the mindset and the thought, and then allow yourself to be as present and open as possible to say whatever's the first thing that comes to mind, or the most like real thing that the character would say. So I'm very blessed. I somehow found a joy and maybe a bit of a niche in mainly doing role plays. But sometimes I gotta give myself a little break, you know? I'm not able to read very much right now because of work and because of my brain. But I am attempting to finish Beauty and Darkness by Mary E. Pearson, which is the final book in the Kiss of Deception trilogy. I've been trying to finish that book. I've been trying to finish that series for about 5 years now. So, trying to finish that one. And I really want to get into reading The Witcher. There's no other Witcher for me cast other than Henry Cavill. I will not have it. I will not watch it. You can't make me do it. But for some reason that thought recently, I was like, I want to read those. Why have I not gotten around to reading those? And then I am still trying to finish Iron Claw by Rebecca Yarros, because I'd like to read the next book that just came out, and I'd like to read it before I get spoiled. So, but I'm not really on TikTok, and I'm not really on Instagram on the book talk side of it, so I don't think it really matters. But anyway, so that's life right now. Truly just working, trying to keep friends, which is so hard to do in your mid-20s. Also, the fact that I'm not in my early 20s anymore makes me want to ladybird myself out of a moving car. And I found 2 gray hairs. I didn't find them. One of my really good friends was dyeing my hair for me, which is the first time I've box dyed at home, so thank you, my dear. But she found 2 gray hairs. They were my first, and that was a week and a half ago. So I lived a beautiful 1 month without gray hair as a 25-year-old, and now I have them. So that feels awful. I feel like I'm going through a second puberty, which is awful. Like, what the fuck is this? But that's kind of my life. I feel like that's most people in their 20s. It's like, yeah, just fucking around, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, staying busy, and trying not to get in too much trouble. I have realized, God bless my frontal lobe closing, I fucking hate drinking. I don't like drinking. It makes me feel awful. I hate it. I hate it. I love dancing. I love being tipsy and dancing. I hate drinking. Oh, I hate being drunk. It sucks. I hate it. I hate not sleeping. God, that's so awful. I'm becoming a grandmother. I am becoming a grandmother. But, that's life right now. The kitties are good. I hope you are good. I'm okay. Just living that little lonely 25-year-old life, baby. In my little house, my little town, in my little world. But I love you all so dearly. Thank you all for so much support the last couple of weeks, and just for y'all's continued comments and just letting me know that you like the content. And I've had a couple comments say that y'all are like happy about all the consistent content coming out, so thank you. I'm very proud of myself for being able to continue that, and I hope to be able to continue that. I have a couple role plays on the docket that I know y'all are really wanting, one in particular. But please keep commenting your ideas, things you'd like to see. I love doing new characters, I love doing spin-off characters, I love doing sequels when I can, so just let me know what you want to see, and I will keep doing my best to make videos for you and for me.